Welcome to the Country Watch Political Intelligence Briefing Quick Hits, a weekly briefing of hot stories across the world in brief. I'm Denise Youngwood Coleman, and I'm the Editor-in-Chief and Senior International Affairs Analyst at Country Watch. This week, the United States is the featured country, as the United States Senate commences the impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. A month ago, the United States House of Representatives voted to impeach President Donald Trump for high crimes and misdemeanors related to his role in inciting insurrection against the United States government. At issue, the invasion and the siege of the United States Capitol by supporters of the outgoing president during the confirmation of President-elect Joe Biden's 2020 election victory. The article of impeachment was sent to the Senate for trial and conviction, with the trial set to commence on February 9th. House managers charged with prosecuting Trump have argued that the former president was singularly responsible for the attack on the Capitol and that Trump, to quote, summoned a mob to Washington, exhorted them into a frenzy, and aimed them like a loaded cannon down Pennsylvania Avenue, end quote. Trump's defense team has argued that Trump was well within his rights to rally his political supporters and that his words were not incitement to violence and, in fact, protected under the First Amendment. Unlike the first impeachment trial of Donald Trump that lasted 3 weeks, this impeachment trial was expected to be a speedier effort, given the imperative by President Biden and the Congress to get to the work of the American people. Acquittal is all but a foregone conclusion, since Republicans in the Senate are not inclined to break ranks with Trump. Nevertheless, Donald Trump will enter the history books as the only United States president to ever be impeached twice. Moving on to other news from around the world. In Burma, also known as Myanmar, in the aftermath of the military coup that seized power upending democracy there, tens of thousands of protesters took to the streets of the main city of Yangon. They demanded the release of the country's elected leaders who had been detained, including Aung San Suu Kyi. Overall, the protests at this time appear to be peaceful. I want to note that the coup leadership blocked access to social media outlets like Twitter and Instagram before entirely shutting down the internet. This move appeared to be geared towards curtailing organization for mass action. Anti-government protests have taken place in Angola. With protesters headed to the presidential palace in the capital, Luanda, police fired tear gas in an effort to disperse the crowds. The demonstrators have been ongoing in their rallies since late last year, although they have since gained steam. They target the ruling MPLA party, which has had a lock on power since Angola gained its independence from Portugal. In Nigeria, the military has carried out an offensive operation against Boko Haram Islamists in the northeastern part of the country. The operation was carried out by the Nigerian military in conjunction with a multinational joint task force and targeted Boko Haram strongholds. Last month, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un announced that his country would expand its nuclear weapons arsenal, noting that the development of a nuclear submarine capable of launching ballistic missiles was almost complete. Kim also outlined plans for military development, including long-range ballistic missiles capable of being launched from land or sea, and what he called super-large warheads. And just weeks ahead of the change in government in the United States to the new Biden administration, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un cast the United States as his country's biggest enemy. For the Biden administration, the North Korean conundrum, which has bedeviled several administrations, regardless of party, was expected to become even more complicated. One obvious possibility was that North Korea could take provocative action by carrying out a nuclear test or a missile test to draw the attention of Washington, D.C. A few days ago, on February 6th, new satellite imagery indicated that North Korea was removing snow at the Sohae satellite launching station. That facility in northwestern North Korea has been known to be used to test intercontinental ballistic missile engines. While it is possible that this action was being taken in advance of some kind of provocative test, the 30th North website that monitors North Korea's nuclear activities said there are no obvious indicators of a forthcoming launch or engine test. Staying on the topic of the nuclear threat posed by North Korea, I want to emphasize that last month, South Korean Prime Minister Chung Seo-kyun urged North Korea and the United States to forge a denuclearization deal that would focus on a halt to the North's nuclear activity in exchange for some sanctions relief. The South Korean Prime Minister's suggestion comes in the wake of failed denuclearization talks between North Korea and the United States' former Trump administration. Now, as of February, United States President Biden and South Korean President Moon Jae-in have agreed to work together on a comprehensive strategy aimed at achieving denuclearization on the Korean peninsula. In a statement, the White House announced that Biden spoke with Moon to stress his commitment to strengthening the United States-South Korea alliance, which is the linchpin for peace and prosperity in Northeast Asia. The statement further noted that the two leaders agreed to coordinate on policy towards North Korea. Next week, I will cover the outcome of the impeachment trial of Trump, but I'm also going to be looking at a shift in policy in regard to Yemen, the fate of the Iran nuclear deal, the treatment of Uyghurs in China, and the conviction of a commander of the notorious Lord's Resistance Army in Uganda. For more information about these and other stories, read my political intelligence briefing and my coronavirus report, both of which are accessible from the front page of the Country Watch website at www.countrywatch.com. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. And remember that we live in an interconnected world.